Good afternoon on what is a cool, grey and cloudy day. It is Friday, June the 7th. I'm in the reading with a nice hot cup of tea. And a box to continue unboxing. And what I've got in here is Howl, a horror adventure of dark folklore for Kern. So, Kern is an old school Renaissance style retro clone. It's more of a micro clone because it opts for like quite stripped down stats and mechanics, and really keeps the rules to a minimum. And it's really in the same kind of class as Into the Odd, Knave, and then also Rune Kern, Warden Saga, which is actually derived from all of those. So, shipwrecked on a strange, desolate shore, pursued by demonic forces, surrounded by horrors at every turn, can your band of adventurers brave the howling caverns and solve the curse of the Barguest before it's too late? 8 overland locations and 12 dungeon rooms filled with lost mysteries and dark secrets. 20 horrifying new monsters from the dim-witted Were-Owl and to the terrifying Garblast. Converted and updated for Kern from 5th edition adventure The Howling Caverns. It's a horror adventure of dark folk for Kern, and it's published by Odin's Beard, who are responsible for Rune Kern, and we deal in lead. So we open up and we've got this really great illustration. That's hopefully going to be the Barguest. I do hope so. And then credits and contents page. And we are into the introduction, including how to run the adventure, some background to the adventure, and then adventure outline, including the curse, the dungeon, the confrontation, and the next adventure. So we've got a complete outline of how the adventure is sort of like plays out, and what will happen afterwards with the next adventure. So part 1, the curse. Here essentially you have the player characters sort of like being shipwrecked on the shore, and explore. Of course, they're aboard a vessel called the Erebus, so it's all but doomed anyway. And they end up being, part of the passengers or crew of a forlorn shipwreck. And once we've got ashore, they basically find the town or village of Krasnoloz. Where they will encounter a vagabond, learned a lot more about where they are and what's going on before they visited an inn called the Slaughtered Lamb, which is a bit of a giveaway. Anybody of a certain age will just go, the Slaughtered Lamb? Are you joking? So what, does this scenario actually involve werewolves? Well, yes, it kind of does. I don't know whether there are any instructions not to leave the path or a road, but there we go. But there is a ruined temple beyond to investigate, and basically, the various locations in and around this village. And then ultimately they will leave the village by the secluded forest trail and head for the clearing. So you see that on the map earlier. There we go. Well, we've got these various locations, and there's the secluded forest trail to the clearing. And then we get to the first of the scenarios, dungeons. This one is sort of like nicely, I do like this. It's fairly short and simple, but it's more a series of caves rather than necessarily than dungeons. Here it's sort of like kind of located with these icons there as to where it is in the dungeon. I'm not quite sure that's easy to use at the table. But each location is given a page of contents, and that always helps. proceeding through the dungeon to the various locations, including a ransacked armory and the Howling Cavern. Essentially, which is where the player characters are very likely to hear the howl involved in the scenario. And we've got a Durga camp, a wizard's quarters, where he has a library and also a altar, of course, which is profane, and this will of course trigger the confrontation with the great beast itself. And here's essentially the payoff, the revelations about the adventure, what player characters will learn through playing it, and then we have the appendix where essentially you've got various stats for the NPCs that they will encounter in and about the village of Krasnoloz, and then stats for the various monsters at the end. And then some relics, and was where the monsters aren't illustrated, but the relics are. And then we've got the handouts as well, and the dungeon map at the end. So yeah, that's Howl, a horror adventure of dark folklore for Kern. I'm pretty much sure that you could run this using Rune Kern Warden Saga as well, if you wanted to, or easily adapt it to Bourge, Knave, are the obvious ones, and then just take the themes and bare bones and adapt it, and just to give it the stats you want for almost any other retro clone. But anyway, that's Howl, a horror adventure of the dark folklore for Kern, published by Odin's Beard. Hope you enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you did, then please do click on the like button down below. And if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings of the Nook, where you'll see me out here with a box containing a book or game, or in this case, a scenario for the old school Renaissance style game Kern, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Be back again soon with another unboxing in the Nook. Bye for now.